And the atmosphere is electric here in downtown Newark as a new era begins in professional basketball. It is the inaugural game of the United Basketball Clubs here on the Coliseum Sports Network. I'm Raymond Sims, glad to bring you history in the making. Here's a look at both teams' starting lineups flashing on your screen, and I'm going to read them for you right now. For the visiting Chicago Inferno, it is center Declan Gloucester, followed by power forward Andrew Samuels. At small forward is Oliver Greenberg. At shooting guard, Hector Talton. And at point guard, Lincoln Flores. For the homestanding Newark Rens, it's center Charlie Franklin. Power forward, John Wilmot. Small forward, Ibrahim Nader. Shooting guard, Victor Sterling. And at point guard, the man you just saw on your screen, Ely Betancourt. The spark plug from Syracuse. It's Gloucester against Franklin at the center circle. Newark wins the tip, and we are underway with UBC basketball for the 2014-15 season. And we start things off. Victor Sterling, the ball handler, gets it down low. John Wilmot facing up against Gloucester, and the man-to-man matchup is won by Wilmot, and he draws the foul and scores the first 2 points in UBC history. Very big moment here in league history as John Wilmot, the veteran out of Cincinnati, is able to get the first 2 points. Not sure if that ball is going to make its way to Springfield, but it's going to be pretty historic in its own right, and he gets the first 3 points in UBC history. So 3-0, the Rens already out to a head start. Lincoln Flores up top. Works off a pick and roll, gets it over to Greenberg, back to Flores for 3, misses off the back rim. Samuels offensive rebound, puts it back up and in. So here comes Newark, ahead still 3-2. Betancourt, bounce pass down low, Ibrahim Nader from Egypt misses, rebound by Declan Gloucester, the Australian. Flores going to work, and that's going to be a key matchup today. Lincoln Flores against Ely Betancourt, two very talented point guards that you're going to probably hear a lot about as the season progresses. Greenberg trying to attack the basket, gives it back to Flores. Crossover inside, working past Betancourt, off the rim and missed. Rebound by Nader. Here comes Newark on the run. Ibrahim putting it up against 2 Inferno defenders. He misses. Gloucester kicking it out to Flores. Chicago on the run. Handoff to Greenberg. He'll float it up and miss. And down with it comes Charlie Franklin. Ball hitting off the rim. Can't find its way in for either side. 10.5 to go here in the first. Still 3-2 in favor of Newark. Nader to Franklin. Back up top, Betancourt going to put up a 3 with 5 on the shot clock. Misses. Rebound by Flores. Chicago, very up-tempo team. Probably going to be the most up-tempo team, besides perhaps Los Angeles, who we'll see later in the week. But they can't get anything going on the offensive possession. Charlie Franklin with the block. Betancourt driving inside. Misses. Rebound by Samuels. Rough shooting on both sides. Good defense. Great contact drawn on defense for both teams. Gloucester waiting for the offense to develop. Gets it out to Greenberg. Way up top to Flores. 1 on the shot clock. Gonna have to put it up. And it is an air ball. So a shot clock violation on the Chicago Inferno. Chicago Inferno, as you can see, wearing light blue and red, intentionally reminiscent of the city's flag, of Chicago's city flag, and named for the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. They're on defense now, trying to keep the Rens at 3 points, at least on this possession. Number 3, Betancourt will put it up just outside the post. Offensive rebound, Franklin. He'll put it back up, and it goes in. 3 Inferno defenders draping him, and he still comes out victorious. There's a look at the field goals. A rough go of it here. Just staunch defense on both sides. Chicago 1 of 6 to start things off. Gloucester on the elbow. Holding on to it, he'll have to give it back to Talton. This is really his first touches of the game. 1 on the shot clock, forces it up, got it in. So the Rens, at arm's length of sorts, but not too far away, are the Chicago Inferno. Betancourt against Flores, and like I said, a premier matchup. Ely gets the best of Lincoln this time around. First foul drawn by Lincoln Flores. Here's Ely Betancourt, 6 feet, 165, from downstate Jersey, from Camden, right across the river from Philadelphia. He hits his first free throw. Played collegiately at Syracuse. And when it came time for UBC teams to sign on players, a lot of teams were looking for that hometown star. And for the Rens, it just so happened to be Ely Betancourt. And he'll hit the second one as well. 7-4 in favor of Newark. 8:19 remaining here in the first quarter. And now Lincoln Flores has the opportunity to get payback against Betancourt. He'll pull up on him. Misses off the front rim. Rebound by Nader. Here comes Victor Sterling. He's a sharpshooting veteran himself from the West Coast. Gets it up top to Betancourt. They're going to set up here. Running out of the horns. Now it's 4 on the shot clock. Tough defense here for Chicago. And Betancourt forced to put it up, and it goes in. Lots of pressure, but no problem for Ely Betancourt. Now here's Chicago looking to respond in kind, and they will. As Hector Talton is able to draw the foul off the continuation. That is the first on Victor Sterling. So now let's get to know Hector Talton. Hector Talton, 6'5", 200 from Baltimore, Maryland. Wanted to play collegiately at the University of Maryland, just down the road in College Park. But they didn't give him a look in recruiting, so he ended up at Tennessee. And he became well known for his crossover abilities and his three-point shooting. If he's able to find a hole in the defense, we'll see if he can display those tonight. Oh, and there's Ely Betancourt. He'll draw another foul here. Second one on Lincoln Flores. And let's check this out on replay. Floater. Pretty much just put a knee in Lincoln's chest. But Flores' feet were not set. And Flores is called for the blocking foul. So here's Betancourt back at the line. He's a fearless man at 6 feet, not afraid to attack the basket. And you saw the reason there, because usually you're able to draw the foul if you're aggressive enough. 13-7 in favor of Newark. 7:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Flores gets it over to Greenberg. We haven't heard much out of him. He'll get it down low to Gloucester. Back out to Talton. He'll drive the lane, put up the floater, bounces around and out. Charlie Franklin picking up the rebound, gets it over to Sterling. Nader puts up the shot from the elbow, and he will draw the foul there. That is the first on Greenberg, and Chicago is falling into foul trouble here with just under 7 remaining in the first quarter. So let's take a look at another guy here, Ibrahim Nader. Ibrahim, 6'9", 220, a 26-year-old from Egypt. Alexandria, Egypt to be exact. He hits his first free throw. Grew up in Alexandria, and then when he turned 18, went right into the Egyptian pro leagues, where he was something of a star. So the Rens picked up on him and were able to sign him. And now he is the starting small forward. Goes 1 of 2 at the line, though. And it is now a 14-7 lead for Newark. Greenberg throwing up the 3, and it goes in. 14-10. And actually, that's not Greenberg. That's Ethan Smith coming into the game, who we'll hear more from later. Chicago getting the ball back. And there is Ethan Smith. He'll bring the ball up for the first time today after spotting up for the 3. and keeping Chicago in it. He'll kick it over Talton, long two. That one's going to miss, and there's Sterling. Newark pushing it up the court. Gets it over to Nader. Will he try to attack? He'll work baseline, hands it off. Betancourt down low. Had his back to the basket, turns around for the hook shot, and it goes in, the 6-footer. Able to put up the shot, and he's shooting 3 for 6. Smith gets this one over to Talton. Working along the perimeter, he's now in the corner. Halfway through the first quarter now. Over to Greenberg. He'll find Smith. Looking to drive the lane. He'll just put it up from up top, and it goes right in. Not afraid to put up the shot, and it's 16-12 with 5:50 remaining in the first quarter. You're watching UBC basketball here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network YouTube channel for more awesome sports fiction action. In particular, the next game, I know this is the first game, we're not even through the first quarter, but just to look ahead, the next presentation of the UBC on Coliseum comes Wednesday, as the Seattle Emeralds will take on the Los Angeles Osos from Anaheim, California. That's 10 Eastern here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Newark gets the ball back off the timeout, blocked and stolen by Ethan Smith. Here comes Smith the other way. He's driving and blocked. So Newark able to get retribution, and Betancourt has another chance to set up the offense to extend their lead from 4, where it is now. Double team, kicks it out. Watford, that is a 2 if it's good. It's not. Rebound by Franklin, and he loses the ball, and now he's limping. Here comes Chicago the other way. They got numbers, and the handoff to Talton, and he gets blocked, and he'll draw the foul. But back in the backcourt is Charlie Franklin. And he'll have an injury. We'll hear more from them later. Be sure to stick and stay to SimsColiseum.com, where you can find out the injury status of Charlie Franklin. And just unfortunate here, in the first game of the UBC, we get an injury. First free throw missed by Talton. All UBC teams have 12 players, all active, and you have to dress at least 8. So now the Newark Rens, halfway into the first quarter of their first game of the season, are shorthanded now at 11. But we'll see if Franklin can come back. Bryce Blanco coming into the game in the stead of Charlie Franklin. Betancourt up top, gets it over to Blanco. Holding on to it on the elbow. He'll get it to Nader. Down low, Blanco facing up, fakes it. And he'll take the opportunity to lay it in. 18-13 with 4:50 remaining in the first quarter. Rens taking care of business in the paint right now, 10-4. Looking at the rosters over the course of training camp, it is noticeable that the Inferno don't usually look to score in the paint. But we'll see how that affects them throughout the season. And right now it's affecting them. They're down by 5 as Nader is able to hit one from the baseline. 20-13 now with 4:22 remaining in the first quarter. Here's Smith. He's comported himself well against Betancourt. Now just hanging on to the ball, waiting for the offense to set up. Drives the lane. He's stopped. 6 on the shot clock. He's going to try to drive again. Tries to get it inside. Tipped away. Stolen by Des Hansen, who entered the game earlier. Nader again. Kicks it over to Hansen. Working with the ball up top is Dez. Guarded tightly by Talton. He'll go up, draws the foul. And so Des Hansen will get his first trip to the line off the attempted layup. And that's the first foul on Hector Talton. Des Hansen, 6'4", 213. A DMV native from Hyattsville, Maryland, decided to go to school cross-country at UNLV. UNLV wasn't even the first Mountain West school to look at him. That honor went to Colorado State. But once word on the Mountain West recruiting trail came out that Colorado State was looking at Des Hansen, And Des Hansen wanted to get away from the East Coast. UNLV swooped in. Hansen loved what he saw on the UNLV campus, and there he was. He was able to make a name for himself, played professionally over in Japan for 3 years, and now he is signed back in America. As he hits the free throw, makes it 22-13, and Newark working in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter. Dashiell Van Buren goes up for it, and he scores on his first attempt of his UBC career. Inferno down 7 now, but shooting 38% here to start off the game. Hansen trying to go to work, retreats out of the paint. And it looks like he'll pull back to the perimeter. That's a long two if it's good. It's not. Pulled down by Van Buren. Kicks it over to Smith. We got the second units in here. Probably most likely to close out the quarter. Smith looking to drive the lane. Nope, he'll just pull up, and it doesn't work. Watford pulling down the rebound. Here's Des Hansen, gets it up top to DeMarcus Norwood, Atlanta native. Now finds himself in Newark, kicks it over Watford, and Roderick Watford able to hit the three. 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Newark running away with this game early, 25-15. In front of their home crowd. It's been an electric atmosphere all evening here in downtown Newark. And the home team feeding off of it as they have a 10-point lead. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your fill of information on all 12 UBC teams, be sure to check out the UBC Weekly Podcast, which will be posted Thursdays, all the way through the final seconds of the championship series here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Seth Carney, one-hand pass out to Francois Williamson. Williamson drawing the double team to Wesley Wilkes. Over to Colvin Thompson, who we'll hopefully be able to talk more about later, because you may notice his footwear if you didn't already notice the fadeaway he just dropped to bring the Inferno back within 8. 2 minutes remaining in the first. Norwood hanging on to the ball. Bounce pass to Kellen Gilbert. He was able to draw the foul. All he was doing was trying to pass the ball across the court. He ends up picking up the foul. Francois Williamson called for the foul, and as I said, they're working out of the bonus is Newark. So Gilbert automatically going to the line. Slingshots it, or catapults it, rather, into the hoop. So there's the first free throw. Yet another new face coming into the game. Miguel Teixeira coming in for Chicago. Kellen Gilbert at the line. Catapult. And it goes in. So it works for Kellen Gilbert. And he'll put Newark back up by 10. 90% from the line early on here for the Rens. Williamson working around in the backcourt. Gets it over to Carney. Back up top, Williamson. 1:40 remaining. Carney fakes, pulls up from mid-range. It rolls in and out. Oh, man. Physics, not Seth Carney's friend that time around. 1.5 now in the first. Norwood kicks it over to Watford. Back to Norwood. 9 on the shot clock. And he's going to pull up for 3. Oh, and that missed everything. We've seen some good basketball, but Norwood's three-point shot apparently not in mid-season form. Williamson bringing the ball up court. He's a 6'7" point guard, much in the vein of other tall point guards like Sean Livingston and Penny Hardaway. And he'll assist on the jumper to make it 27-19. Entering the final minute of the first quarter of the first game in UBC history, and the home team's got the lead. Max Green with the ball, kicks it over Norwood. That three a little more on target, but still misses. And here comes Carney the other way. Couple of dribble moves. Up top to Williamson. Quick jab step. Is he just going to put it up? Nope, he'll get it over to Carney. He pump fakes. He'll work it over. Miguel Teixeira for 3. Which is bizarre. Carney's the better three-point shooter. Hansen up the court. Hesitation. Pulls up. Got it. 29-19 here in the first quarter. And Chicago's second unit not providing any relief here to the Newark Rens' early game run. Teixeira back to Williamson. And Teixeira going to put it up again from the same side. And this time it's successful, 29-22. Mere seconds remaining in the first quarter. Going to see if the Rens can pull off at least one more shot. Hansen kicks it out. Norwood, no problem putting up the three. And there we go. He had an air ball the first time around. On target, but missed the second time around. And then he's finally able to get the three. Shot thrown up by Colvin Thompson, an air ball. And that's how we'll close out the first. Hopefully that's not an omen of things to come. But that's the first quarter of the first game in UBC history. 32-22 after one. Welcome back to downtown Newark. It's the inaugural game of the United Basketball Clubs and the homestanding Newark Rens, short for Renaissance. Hold on to a 10-point lead to start things off. There's a look at the power forward, John Wilmot. Long-time overseas player. Almost all of these players have played overseas. Charlie Franklin, who was injured earlier in the game, he's actually... he played overseas, but he's one of the players that didn't go to college from Mount Vernon. Chicago misses on their first offensive possession. Just to get back to that, Charlie Franklin from Mount Vernon, New York, so across the river from Jersey here. Norwood still in the game. Second unit's mostly in the game. John Wilmot, one of the starters, back in. Des Hansen. Back to the basket, up top to Norwood. He'll miss again. Jay Berry gets the rebound. Jay Berry from Guthrie, Oklahoma. Norwood trying to work his way in. He's done what he can to fill in for Ely Betancourt, the starting point guard. Berry pulls down another offensive board, and he'll take it up himself and draw the foul. It's one thing if you're able to get one offensive rebound on a possession, because that's particularly important to get offensive boards, keep possessions alive, reset the shot clock. But to get two and then go back up and draw the foul, that is downright impressive. You saw some of his stats there. 6'11" man from North Texas, member of the Mean Green. They were in the Sun Belt, I believe, at the time that he was there. But now they have moved on up down there in Denton. So they are part of Conference USA. Whole number of players coming back in, mostly starters. The Inferno have not found themselves at the line a lot, while the Rens have not been afraid to attack the basket and draw fouls. Jay Berry playing professionally in Germany for 8 years until he was signed on to the Rens. Like I said, just about every player, almost every player, has played professionally overseas before getting that contract, getting that phone call from one of the 12 UBC franchises. Colvin Thompson along too. Rebound by Gloucester, who puts it back up, and he'll go to the line. After I just said, the Inferno have not been at the line nearly as much as the Rens. So here is Declan Gloucester at the line for Chicago, starting center from Campbelltown, Australia, just southwest of Sydney. And as you would expect from Australia, played professionally in Australia for 7 years. Did have offers to play in other places such as China and France, but he was very patriotic. He loves his country. He loves playing in Australia. But once he got a call from the American League, even though it wasn't the NBA, he was all in, and here he is getting starting reps, and now he's at the line. 33-23, make that 33-24 off the made free throw by Declan Gloucester. Max Green bringing it up court for Newark. 10.5 remaining in the second quarter. Down low to Berry, facing up. This looks like it's going to be a good matchup here. Two tough rebounders, not afraid to draw fouls, but he'll kick it out to Nader. That's deflected. Back up top to Green. That's a three. There's a lot of three-point shooters that are going to be in the UBC, but I think Max Green is probably one of the more dangerous ones in small doses. Flores pulls up with the runner and misses Wilmot with the rebound. Green back up court. He's going to drive the lane, and he'll scoop it in. 38-24 with 9:53 remaining in the second quarter. Lincoln Flores started off in foul trouble. He has 2 right now, and he's going to try to produce something on offense. Going to have to wait another possession. He is stripped, and here comes Newark looking to extend the run. 9:37. Max Green gets the pick from Wilmot. Back over to Wilmot. He's pretty much rewarded for the pick. It was a good one. Nader back to Green. Flores trying to play tight D, trying to keep him off the perimeter, but he got to pull up before the end of the shot clock, and he doesn't get it. So here's Flores getting the ball in transition. He retreats back to the perimeter. Going to look to set something up, trying to just speed past his defender. Can't do it up top. Colvin Thompson straightaway 3, 38-27 with 9 minutes remaining in the second. Colvin Thompson already 3 for 5. That was his first made three-pointer of the game. Now here's Hansen straight away. Looking for the play to develop. Catch and shoot by Green. Deadly. So Newark able to respond with another 3. And as you see there, 8 points, including 2 for 2 from outside. And Chicago going to call timeout here. They are in trouble as they are down 41-27. The Newark Rens are bringing basketball back to New Jersey after the departure of the long-standing New Jersey Nets, who actually played in this very building from 2011 to 2013. They're now across the river in Brooklyn, doing very well for themselves. But the UBC decided to bring basketball back to Newark, and the team is named on 2 levels as the Rens. Rens short for Renaissance. And the longtime renaissance that has been going on here in the state, or in the city of Newark, and I guess you could say in the state of New Jersey. But also named for the New York Rens, a barnstorming all-black basketball team from the 30s and 40s. And Charlie Franklin comes back in after hurting his ankle and throws it down. So his legs looking mighty fine there after a bit of a scare back in the first quarter. So Newark looking to bring a renaissance to basketball as they are putting on a clinic here in the second quarter. Franklin back in the game, firing on all cylinders. Sterling with the ball now. Almost loses the ball, gets it down low to Franklin. Posting up, hops, puts it up, pops it, drops it in. 45-27, Franklin was looking for the foul, won't get it, he'll have to settle for the 2 points. 7:40 remaining in the second quarter. And Newark slowly pulling away. Colvin Thompson with the ball. Back up top to Williamson. Flores. He's going to try to drive. Trying to force it in here. Puts it up. Can't draw the foul, but he'll pick up the 2 points. And those are actually Lincoln Flores' first 2 points of the game. I'm actually surprised by that. I've just been recording my stats. I never bothered to look down, but looking at it, yep, those are his first 2 points. Victor Sterling, he's going to put up 3 on the board. Rens shooting 50% from the great outdoors, hitting 6 threes. Chicago's hit 2, but that 4 3-pointer margin, that could be pretty important. That's 12 points. That's a 12-point difference between Newark and Chicago. A couple more starters coming to the game. No sight of Ely Betancourt. So while Charlie Franklin suffered an injury earlier and eventually is returned into the game, we'll see what's happening here with Ely Betancourt. If the Rens won't have him moving forward, that is going to be a huge loss already. They haven't needed him yet, at least, though, because they're currently ahead 48-31 off of that made shot by Chicago. Green driving the lane and gets that one past the swatting hand of Declan Gloucester. 50-31. Max Green, in the stead of Ely Betancourt, now has 10 points. Flores floats that one into Andrew Samuels, who finally has made his way back into the game. Gloucester down low. Off the back door cut to Andrew Samuels, and he'll put it in. So instant offense off the bench from the starter, Andrew Samuels. 50-33, just under 6 minutes remaining. Green, pull it up from the elbow. He's got it. 12 points for Max Green. He has only missed one shot. There's a number of scoring point guards on this Newark squad as Oliver Greenberg takes and misses his first shot of the game. Rens have the upper hand in three-point shooting and in rebounds. Speaking of rebounds, there's Franklin with an offensive board, but a block by Gloucester. Here comes Flores. Gonna look to lead a renaissance against the Rens. Corner, long two. His foot was on the line. Missed by Colvin Thompson. Green with the ball. Looking to set up something else here. Under 5 remaining in the second quarter. He'll find Nader. Looking to drive the lane. Puts it up and no good. But a shooting foul drawn by Andrew Samuels, and it's his first of the game. But he was reacting there like it was his 6th. So Nader back at the line, but Andrew Samuels called for the foul. Georgetown grad from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is Andrew Samuels. Played professionally in Puerto Rico. And there's Betancourt. Been a long time since we saw him, but Green had a hot hand there, so head coach for Newark, Jeff Cole, I guess he didn't see a reason to bring Betancourt back in just yet. 53-33, Newark has extended the lead to 20 points, make that 21. So 4:46 remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Flores up court, and a timeout called by Chicago. Newark absolutely running things right now. The Rens take care of business, up by 21. I'm Raymond Sims here bringing you the play-by-play, but I also have a radio show. You can check it out live weekdays 11 to 1 Eastern on Spreaker.com. But if you don't feel like going over there, you can catch it on demand here on the Coliseum Sports Network shortly after the show's completion. So if you don't want to hang out with me at midday, you can always listen to me here on the Coliseum Sports Network during the afternoon and evening. So the ball stolen by Newark, so the onslaught going to continue here on offense as Nader is looking to drive, kicks it over to Betancourt. Hanging onto the ball, waiting for the offense to develop. Back up top to Nader, over to Sterling, long two is good. 56-33, 23-point lead, and the Inferno are falling ever behind. Talton with the ball. He'll pull up. Two-pointer good. Cuts the lead a little bit. Talton got 6 points back in the first quarter. Those are his first 2 here in the second, so he has 8. Franklin up top. Pump fakes from straight away, but that is not his shot at all. Nader down low to Betancourt. Facing a mismatch here. Samuels, the bigger man, gets shot over and miss it. And the miss is rebounded by Wilkes. Halftime report presented by Sprint. Coming up shortly is the three-pointer. Cinched in by Hector Talton. 6 in the first, now 5 in the second. Betancourt looking to drive. Kicks it over Nader. And that one goes in. Holds off a run for now from Chicago. 20-point game. Newark leading. Flores with the ball up top. Talton, he's hot right now. Let's see if they'll go to the well again. Here's Oliver Greenberg, who has a shot, I promise. He just hasn't put anything up. Outlet pass, tipped away, stolen by Chicago. Another chance here. Greenberg to Flores. Gets it over to Talton. Kicks it out. Greenberg, another shot. He'll miss off the back rim. And Franklin this time is able to get it over to Betancourt without a problem. Betancourt looking to drive the lane. This one deflected, stolen by Chicago again. Chicago trying to capitalize on these turnovers. Pull up 2. No good by Talton. And that ball was going out of bounds. Sterling tried to save it. And he saved it just as it was falling out of bounds. So Chicago will keep it. Some troubling turnovers here as of late for Newark. It's a 20-point game, but it's still a lot of time left in this matchup. Don't want to let Chicago back into it if you're Newark, and a shot by Greenberg will get them closer to getting back into it. The deficit is now down to 18, but Betancourt, crossover in open space. The floater's no good. Rebound by Wilkes. Ball ahead to Greenberg. He's going to drive the lane, and he's showing a little more aggression, just not converting into points. Here's Sterling the other way. Hands it off to Betancourt. Now to Nader. He'll put it up. Got a little space, and that's a dangerous thing. Ibrahim Nader, the Egyptian, able to put up the 2. It's still a 20-point game. Chicago starting to show a little more fight late here in the first half. Talton puts it up from up top, misses. Wilmot pulling down the rebound, but I was going to say before that shot that even though they're showing fight, they are still down by a lot. Head coach Jordan Villarreal probably not going to be a happy man during that halftime speech. Greenberg with the rebound. You see his stat line. It's not been a good one. He only has 2 points, but he gets the outlet pass. Down low to Wesley Wilkes. So you can at least notch an assist there, and it's 60-42. Here's Betancourt with 1:10 remaining in the second quarter. Works off the pick. Stops up top, gets to Wilmot. He'll retreat back. And just give it back to Betancourt. When in doubt, give it to Ely. He'll shoot the 2 from the free throw line. This one up in the air by Blanco. He'll put it back up and in. Newark is dominated in the paint, and they, both in terms of points and in terms of offensive rebounds, and there's the stat line to prove it. 20-12 in the paint, in the blue area. Talton trying to size up against Sterling. He'll force it up, and it goes in, 62-44. We've seen quite the bit of action here from Newark. And while it is a decisive lead for Newark, it's still been a pretty exciting game, if I do say so myself. Betancourt facing up. Shoots it against Flores, and he'll get the 2. He's looking for the foul. Kind of surprising he didn't get it, but he does still have 2 points. 20-point game. Flores could have put up that shot, but I guess he wants to hold off some clock here. He'll get it to Talton. Long 2 off the catch. And missed. Final seconds here. Probably not going to put anything up serious. Betancourt going to throw this one up, and that was on target, but it is no good. So the first half of basketball has the home team, Newark, leading by 20, 64-44, here on the UBC on Coliseum. Here is the Sprint halftime report. (64-44) as we enter the second half of the inaugural game of the United Basketball Clubs in the world premiere of the UBC on Coliseum. The home team has been showing off for the fans here who are seeing professional basketball back in Newark for the first time since 2013. Gloucester gets the shot down low. And it is now 64-46. Actually, let me make a quick correction. I do think it's the first time of professional basketball in Newark since 2012, April 2012, rather than 2013. So even longer of a wait. But the home team, the new home team, has done very well. Betancourt, the starting point guard, happens to miss that shot. Greenberg up top to Flores. Three-pointer's good. Just gonna give you a heads up now. Just about every player, I guess except perhaps the centers and Wesley Wilkes, a power forward, are able to shoot the three very well for Chicago. We haven't seen a lot of it, but as they are hoping to come back here in the second half, we probably will. We'll find out, though. It's 64-49. Chicago gets the ball off the strip by Declan Gloucester. Talton up top, going to set up the offense. Out pops Flores. Trying to work his way in here against Sterling. Now he's in trouble. Going to have to put something up and misses. So he hung on for the ball for a little too long. He had to force something up, and it's unsuccessful. Here's Ibrahim Nader after picking up his 6th rebound. He eventually gets the ball back, trying to set up some offense here. And he's going to drive the lane, draw the foul, and there he is in double digits in points. That's 11 now for Ibrahim Nader, so 4 more rebounds, and he'll have a double-double. Ibrahim, back in Egypt, actually averaged about 20 and 9. Pretty much playing the 3 and 4 position. Misses the free throw here, so he'll be stuck at 11. It'll also be interesting to see how that 20 and 9 in Egypt translates to professional hoops in America at a high level, just below the NBA. Shooting foul called here on Victor Sterling. That's his 2nd. See, he's not happy with himself there, and that'll earn Hector Talton a spot at the line. Hector Talton, you've probably seen some videos of him here on YouTube. All of his ankle breakers. Before he started playing professionally here in the UBC, which was, earlier in the summer when he got signed, he would frequent pickup basketball games and open run street ball events, and he would show off there a lot of his crossover abilities. But now he's had to tone it down now that he's playing professionally. Don't want to jeopardize his career doing any crazy moves. Chicago getting the ball back off of a quick possession by Newark. They're down 16 and are still down 16. Now down 14 as Gloucester's able to get that shot up and in. 66-52, 9.5 left in the third. The shooting percentage is slightly improved here for the Inferno. Betancourt facing up. Turns around. Puts up the shot off the post move and misses. Flores out to the races. He has to pull back on the perimeter. Gets it over to Andrew Samuels, who puts it up and in. You can probably count Samuels, actually, as another player that isn't able to shoot a 3, at least not particularly well. Nader forces that one up and in. 68-54, and look at that. Another and one for Ibrahim Nader. Ibrahim, a particularly quiet guy. I was aware of his talent, but it has yet to be seen how much of a contribution he will be to this team. And if this first game is any indication, I'm probably going to be saying his name a lot. Whether it is in games or during the podcast, the UBC Weekly Podcast, which is every Thursday. Ibrahim Nader really contributing to this 15-point lead that the Newark Rens happen to have. Next presentation of the UBC on Coliseum coming Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the Seattle Emeralds and the Los Angeles Osos from Anaheim. So our first look on TV here of the Western Conference. We're getting our look here of the Eastern Conference. And of the four probably most high-profile market teams, you got your New York market, you got your Chicago market, you got your LA market, and then you have the Seattle market, which just lost the Sonics. So some high-profile games early on here in the UBC season. Meanwhile, Declan Gloucester scrapping down low. Gets it on the third try. And you just got to love what he's doing tonight. He's able to pick up 10 just off of owning the paint. Betancourt gets that one to Franklin in a post shot that misses. You look at shots from that range to be gimmies, but they're not always gimmies. Here's Flores as the Inferno working out of the horns. Up top to Talton. He'll drive the lane. Another runner. That one missed. Put back slam by the Australian. Declan Gloucester, 8 points here in the second half. And he's actually outscoring the whole team combined. What a look out of the Australian center. Here's Watford. Outside to Sterling. Watford down low. Franklin puts it up and in and one. So Declan Gloucester's done very well scoring for his team here in the second half. But then he picks up the foul. Good job by Charlie Franklin. Charlie or Frankie or whatever you want to call him, taking his first stab at the free throw line. He is not a particularly good free throw shooter, so we might not be seeing many makes out of him. But if he's at least able to draw fouls, I'm sure that'll be very valuable for head coach Jeff Cole and his Rens. Down low, Wilkes tries to put up the shot. Can't get it. That is the 9th rebound for Franklin. He's 2 points and a rebound away from a double-double himself. Rebound by Talton off the miss by Sterling. Chicago up with the ball. Ethan Smith up top, drives the lane, stops at the elbow. See if he'll try to come in again. He won't. Puts up the long two. Lead is slowly being whittled away here by the Inferno. They are now down 11 with just under 7 minutes remaining. Ethan Smith in particular shooting 3 for 5. And Betancourt able to keep Chicago at arm's length off the two. 13-point game now with 6:43 remaining in the third. Talton spin move up and a miss pulled down by Franklin. Here comes Betancourt. He's going to slow it down. At least a little bit. He might still be trying to attack the basket. Nope. Corner three. Sterling missed. He's probably going to make a lot more of those throughout the season, but he misses that one. And that'll keep the Inferno in it. Here's Smith. He'll pull back to the perimeter. Down low to Talton, who forces it up, draws the foul, and cannot get the and one opportunity. So he'll have to earn his two at the line. Foul called on Victor Sterling, his third of the game. Sterling, a very important scorer for this team. So the Rens do not want to see him in too much more foul trouble. Meanwhile, here's Hector Talton at the line. Probably one of the main crossover kings here in the league. And he's able to get the first free throw. Substitutions here in the game. Sean Carney coming in, Kellen Gilbert, and Des Hansen coming in for Newark. As Talton will take his second set of free throws. And that one missed. Rebound by Bryce Blanco. He'll give it over to Hansen, who will be the ball carrier early on. Here's Betancourt now on the right wing. Ooh, out lead pass down low to Bryce Blanco. He's able to pick up the points there. It is a 14-point game with 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Smith with the ball right wing. He'll bounce pass it down low. Wilkes gonna do some work here. Turnaround blocked. Shot telegraphed by Gilbert. He's able to pick up the block, the denial. And here's Newark gonna look to extend the lead. They're up 14. Betancourt trying to drive the lane. He'll roll that one up and missed. Talton with the rebound. Here comes Chicago on the run. They love to go on the fast break, but the Newark Rens have been able to neutralize them, at least for most of the game. Missed three-point opportunity there, and there's the rebound by Betancourt. He has 14 and 3 assists. And now he's going to drive the lane, and he is going to add 2 more points to that total. 16 points to go with those 3 assists. He has 12 of those in the first half, so he hasn't really been needed to score a lot here in the second half. Here's Seth Carney. He's going to put up the 3. That's what he does best. 77-64. Almost 4.5 remaining here in the third quarter. Chicago trying to get back into this. The Newark Rens trying to get their first win in franchise history and a win for the home crowd. Able to keep the Inferno at bay. But you better believe they're going to be quick to respond. Smith with the ball. Gets it over to Carney. He's going to put up another 3. That one misses. Rebound by Wiltz. He'll kick it outside. So a fresh shot clock to work with. Here's Wiltz again. Back to the basket. Pushed off his mark, but he's able to put up the shot anyways. If it's one column that the Inferno have been able to own, because points in the paint has not been one of them, as Betancourt is able to pick up 2 more, it has been second chance points. 81-66. Wiltz with the ball way outside of his range. Smith is not outside of his range, but he'll miss. Bryce Blanco able to pull it down. The Rens come equipped with some very good rebounders in terms of the quantity of rebounders. But Declan Gloucester, as we have seen throughout this game, has done very well for himself to actually just pull down the boards by himself for Chicago. Not well enough, though. His team is down by a lot. 81-66. Three-pointer thrown up by Smith and missed. Watford with the rebound. He'll hand it off to Betancourt, and that's how we'll set things up here with 3:11 remaining in the third quarter. Trying to run a play here. Out pops Watford. That one looked a little messy, but I'm sure Betancourt got it to the intended ball handler. He eventually gets it back. Did a good job to pay it forward, just couldn't reward himself with a 3. Chicago working out of the horns again. Into the corner for Talton. Tight D, up top, Smith. Putting up the 3 again. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. And that's what Ethan Smith was pretty much doing. As he put up 3 three-point attempts in rapid succession, and the third one was the charm. Betancourt, spin move. Trying to work around Smith. Can't do it that time, but the putback is good by Blanco. 83-69, Newark with the lead. It's been a competitive game, but the Rens made a run towards the end of the first, the beginning of the second. They have not relinquished it yet, but Carney having something to say about it. It's back to an 11-point game. 11 is about as close as Chicago has gotten here in the second half. Closing minutes here of the third quarter, and Chicago is trying to get back into this game. Will Betancourt convert on the 2, or will Chicago have the opportunity to bring it to single digits? It's the latter, but will Chicago capitalize? Here comes Ethan Smith. Smith trying to drive the lane, gets it over to Talton. Talton with some hesitation dribbles. Goes up for the shot, missed. Can't make it a 9-point game. And here comes Newark. Now they'll have the opportunity to pull away. Blanco just outside the post. Up top to Hansen. He'll pull up for 3. That's his shot. And it's back to a 14-point game. Newark saying nuh-uh to the Inferno's comeback attempt with 1 minute even left here in the third. But Talton, he'll put up a 2-pointer. I think that was a 2. Carney able to pull down the rebound. Will Talton try again? Not that time. He'll get it to Smith. Behind the back dribble. Trying to work inside, but he'll retreat back to the perimeter. He calls off the screen. Trying to fight through these screens here. Greenberg puts up the 3, and he has not had a good day at all. But here comes Newark. Going to look to extend the lead before the quarter is out. Pull up on him does Roderick Watford, and it's a 16-point game with just under 30 seconds. Smith with the ball up top. Gives it over Carney. That one blocked by Blanco. Still in the hands of the Inferno, trying to get it back to Carney. Almost lost. He tries to drive the lane, and goodness, he almost slammed it, but he'll draw the foul instead. Blanco laying it down hard on him, and he'll pick up the foul there with 17.3 left here in the third. So yes, let's get to know Seth Carney. Seth Carney played professionally in Germany, or at least that's the last place he played. A California boy, but played collegiately at Kansas State. That's where he really honed in that three-point ability. He was decent in high school, he said, but once he got to Kansas State, that's really where he started putting up shots in the gym. So he goes overseas, plays in a number of different places across Eastern Europe, spent 5 years in Germany, and he comes to America from Germany shooting about 39% from three. 10 seconds here in the third. Carney able to convert both free throws. Still a 14-point game now. Final shot of the quarter will not go. And that'll do it for the third. So after three, not as big of a deficit. Chicago trying to close in, but the Newark Rens holding on. 88-74 after three. Welcome back to Newark, guys. It's been a great game here. First game of the United Basketball Clubs between two of the largest markets in the Eastern Conference, Newark and Chicago. I know you're looking at the score and you're probably thinking, wait, a great game. It's a 14-point game. Well, ever since a run in the first and second quarter from Newark, they've hung on to a big lead. But for the most part, Chicago has tried to keep it competitive, and they'll try to close in on the deficit and really make this a ball game, maybe even make a huge comeback if they can here in the fourth quarter. The foul, however, doesn't help their case, so here's Victor Sterling at the line. 6'2", played ball at Pacific, but he's from San Francisco. Stone's throw away from Old Candlestick Park, from the Hunters Point neighborhood. Fairly dangerous neighborhood, but he made it out, played at Pacific, did well for himself, spent 9 years overseas. And now here he is, hoping to make a difference at the professional level in America. 90-74. It's really amazing the type of stories that a lot of these players have, and I'll be bringing them to you throughout this year here on the Coliseum Sports Network, or at least I'll hope to, as many of the players as possible, because it's really a lot of great stories where a lot of these guys have come from. Got a lot of guys that have played overseas, but you have some guys that came straight out of college, a few rookies. There's been a couple of players that were just coaching and decided to get back into it, but even if they played overseas, they come from all over the place as we get an air ball. 14-point game. Newark still leading 90-76. Colvin Thompson goes inside and he'll draw the foul. As I said, even though a lot of players come from overseas, come from a number of places: Japan, Germany, France, Italy. And then in terms of international players, you know, you expect guys from Spain, of course, and there are some Spanish players, but you even get guys like Ibrahim Nader from Egypt, Henrique Nascimento from Angola. So I'll be sure to tell you those stories throughout the season. Here's Colvin Thompson at the line, his first trip to the line, and he's able to get the first free throw. The interesting thing about him that I've been meaning to get to, and I probably, if he didn't come to the line, I probably would have forgot. No, look at his shoes, and you may notice that they aren't quite the shade of blue of the Inferno jersey, and that's because those shoes are particularly unique. Colvin Thompson is a bit of a sneakerhead, and he loves to wear all kinds of different shoes, and he says he's going to try to wear a different pair of shoes for each of the 48 games that they play here in the UBC and the playoffs. And yes, he did say and the playoffs because he's expecting his team to get there. 12 teams in this league. 8 of them make the playoffs, so good chance that the Inferno will be there as long as they play some good basketball. Not the kind that they've been playing here, as they find themselves down by 12. But Gloucester able to pick up the and one, so now they're within 10, and that's about as close as they've gotten here in the second half. Declan Gloucester at the line, and the Australian has the opportunity to bring the Inferno within single digits for the first time since the first half. And Betancourt, the man who picked up the foul, he almost got in trouble for hanging in the lane there, but Gloucester unfazed. So it's a 9-point game now. The Inferno have whittled their way back into this game. And Jeff Cole recognizes that. He's going to call a timeout. Andrew Samuels, Colvin Thompson, very much excited. They got a chance back in this. 10.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter here on the UBC on Coliseum. So as I was saying, despite the margin, it has been a good game, and it looks like it could be even more exciting. Will the Newarks rain on the Inferno, put out the fire, if you're a fan of bad puns, put out the Inferno, that is, or will the Inferno be able to get back into this and possibly pull off the comeback win? We'll have to find out here as Wilmot will inbound to Ely Betancourt. Up top to Victor Sterling. And there is the steal. Active hands by Lincoln Flores. And he will not come away with the layup, but Colvin Thompson able to save his bacon and get the putback lay-in. It's now a 7-point game. And the Rens losing the lead. They've been up by as much as about 20. If not 21, and now they are only hanging on to a 7-point game. Wilmot on the block. Back outside to Betancourt. They're going to need some production out of him, and he tries to put up the layup. He misses. And here comes Flores. Chicago trying to push it. Thompson down low to Greenberg under the basket, and a bad angle because that one hits off the bottom of the rim of the backboard. And now Newark has the opportunity to extend the lead. Can't off the Sterling three, but will not off the Franklin putback either. Flores ahead. Newark has numbers. A few cherry pickers back there. And Flores misses the runner, but the putback good by Andrew Samuels. Rens still hanging on to a point in the paint advantage. But some key points in the paint there by Andrew Samuels. Nader puts up the three off the catch, misses. Rebound by Thompson. 9 minutes even now in the fourth. Pulls up on him. Colvin Thompson hitting the three. It is a 2-point game, ladies and gentlemen. 8:47 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Betancourt going to hang on to it down low to Franklin. Franklin, the Mount Vernon, New York native. Playing in front of a couple of friends and family. He didn't bring too many over. Said there was more opportunities for them to come, so he didn't want to overuse his ticket privileges here. A block and a shot clock violation on Newark. Chicago has the opportunity to tie or take the lead. 8:28 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Oliver Greenberg going to inbound the ball. And he'll get it over to Flores. Betancourt meeting him in the backcourt. Bounce pass to Thompson, long two. The game is tied. Colvin Thompson coming in with the clutch. Crazy shoes and all. And it is a 90-90 game. So that dominance that we saw out of Newark has gone missing, but Ibrahim Nader will help get the lead back at least for now. But the long pass down low to Oliver Greenberg, and the game is tied again, 92-92. Now we got ourselves a tight one in the inaugural game of the UBC, and I'm sure Commissioner Malcolm Gomes and all the front office guys that are in attendance here are seeing exactly what they want, a tight competitive matchup. I mean, a blowout, probably not what they wanted to see. And Chicago understanding the mandate. And also, who knows what the young, fiery coach Jordan Villarreal said to them at the half. because they are bringing it back, and they have taken their first lead of the game. 16 second chance points here in the second half compared to Newark's 2. And this has been a bit of a second chance for Chicago, but they lose that opportunity there off the Ibrahim Nader 3. That's 19 for Ibrahim. No homesickness for him. He has been able to put up the 3-pointers. Samuels working on the block here, gets it down low to Thompson, who tried to catch it, fumbled with it, and found himself out of bounds. And that's unfortunate, as Chicago is down 1, but would have had the opportunity to take the lead back. Here's John Wilmot going to inbound the ball to Betancourt, and Newark, who lost the lead a couple of times here in the past few minutes, is going to look to hang on to this lead for good. They're up 95-94. Betancourt with the ball. Going to look to set up offense, probably going to look to take it himself. He'll force it up, he'll draw the foul, it won't go in, and he'll need 2 shots. So that's the 3rd personal foul here for Lincoln Flores. Not quite time to press the panic button just yet, but Flores probably wants to keep the fouls to a minimum. He's halfway to fouling out. Ely Betancourt at the line, 95-94, 6:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. And the first free throw is good. Next game for Newark will come on Sunday the 2nd at Tampa Bay, while Chicago, their next game will be on Saturday at Nashville. That game will be here on the Coliseum Sports Network starting at 1 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to join me down in Nashville in Music City. Chicago going to look to go into Nashville with a 1-0 record. They're down by 3 after being down by as much as 20. As both free throws were good by Ely Betancourt. Samuels, open lane, relatively open lane, but he misses at the end off the contact. Here's Bryce Blanco getting up the rebound. 8 and 6 now for Blanco. Now Betancourt with it. Trying to set up some dribble moves. Gets a little bit past Colvin Thompson, but down with the rebound comes Declan Gloucester. So Flores to Gloucester on the perimeter, and he's just going to hand it back. Not quite his range, I'll say that. Thompson up top, gets the pick. He's going to drive the lane and misses the layup. So Betancourt with the rebound. He has 20 on the night. Gets it over to Sterling, long 2, missed, rebound by Greenberg. And another chance for Chicago to close the gap. They're down 3. Greenberg's gonna take it on his own, layup good off the backboard and in. 97-96. You look at the field goal percentages on the evening. And as we near 100, I will say that a couple of teams in the league do have a promotion once they hit 100. Newark does not. But if you know Clippers broadcaster Ralph Lawler's law, first team to 100 usually wins. So he says always wins. I couch that with usually. And Newark is 1 point away from 100 off the 2-pointer by Victor Sterling. Chicago still down only 3 though, with a lot of 3-point shooters. They have not looked outside a lot. And Lincoln Flores' layup blocked by Bryce Blanco. So out comes Hector Talton. And while Colvin Thompson is actually pretty good at 3-pointers, Hector Talton is probably the guy that you want to see less of. Good chance he's going to be out on the perimeter. Flores putting up the 3, tie game, and he shoots it over 2 Rens. 2 Rens came out to contest that shot, and they can't. It's a long 2, though. So I'll couch my excitement a little bit, but still a 99-98 game. Betancourt hanging on to it on the left elbow. He'll find Sterling. That is a 3 if it goes. It doesn't. Rebound by Greenberg. 4-13. And Flores trying to push it up the court. He'll stop right at the top of the key. Greenberg for 3. It has not been his night, and that will continue. Wilmot with the rebound. Betancourt getting the handoff. Gonna look to set up the offense again. Under 4 now here in the 4th quarter. Sterling hanging on to it. What is Newark going to do? They have the lead, but not by much. Stuck in the key now. Gets right past Talton. Missed! The runner, that would have been a crucial one. And Samuels has a double-double. 10 points, 10 boards. Flores looking to drive. He'll put it up. Missed! And now here's Betancourt. Some huge opportunities missed for Chicago. And I'm sure that those opportunities are going to come back to bite them in film study as they prepare for Nashville on Saturday. Franklin with the ball. Shot clock winding down. 1, and he's going to put it up from outside. That is not his range, so he probably would have been in better shape to just pass it away, but he didn't. So Chicago down by 1, under 3. Talton with the ball, guarded by Sterling. Talton's going to drive, hands it off Samuels, off the backboard and in. And Chicago is the first team to score 100 as they take the lead back. 12 points, 10 rebounds for Andrew Samuels. And we'll see if Lawler's Law comes into effect. Again, the Clippers broadcaster, the venerable Ralph Lawler, has the law that first team to 100 always wins. Pull-up jumper is good by Betancourt, 101-100. We'll see if that law comes into effect here. 2:17 remaining here from Prudential Center. The inaugural game of the United Basketball Clubs has been an exciting one as both teams have gone back and forth here in the later stages. Newark was up by as much as 20 through the middle part of the game, but the Inferno fought back, and they are now down 1. But off the foul by Greenberg, could be down by as much as 3 once it's all said and done. Greenberg has had a rough game, and he'll have to go stand on the side of the paint and watch those free throws that could be costly if the Inferno continue to not capitalize on a number of their opportunities. Victor Sterling able to get the first free throw, puts Newark up 2. Victor, by the way, does have a brother, Val Milton Sterling, who plays basketball, but he will be playing in the UBC Academy League, which is a league of college-age players playing professionally in cities across America. That won't debut, however, until shortly after Thanksgiving, but that will be here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Meanwhile, an opportunity to tie the game for Hector Talton as Victor Sterling, who just hit 1 of 2 crucial free throws, is called for the foul. That is his 4th. So here's Hector Talton. Going to be needed to come through here in the 4th quarter. 1:53 remaining in the 4th with the opportunity to tie. He has 2 free throws set to go, and he'll make the first one. And he hits the second one. Tie game from Newark, 102-102. And Hector Talton, who's mostly been quiet here in the second half, comes through when he is needed. So 17 points for Hector. And those 16th and 17th ones help Chicago tie the game up at 102. So we'll see how Newark is going to respond here, as they are still hoping to get their first home win of the season. Could have had it more convincingly, up by as much as 20 throughout the game. But now they are tied up with Chicago. Under 2 minutes remaining. Betancourt drives inside, scoop layup, missed. Rebound by Flores, his counterpart. Pushing it up the court of Chicago. Talton gets his runner blocked. Rebound by Wilmot, and he'll hand it off to Sterling. Betancourt going to try again here. He missed his last time down. Finds an open lane. That's a miss. The putback, though, is good by Charlie Franklin. Timeout, Chicago. 104-102. 1:26 remaining. And you can see there that the points in the paint have now been knotted up at 36 after a substantial margin, as we were looking at that margin earlier in the game. So those points in the paint definitely mattering, despite the fact that the Inferno have a large number of outside shooters on their roster. 1:26 remaining here in the fourth quarter. If you love this game, be sure to join us on Wednesday as Seattle will take on Los Angeles at 10 Eastern here on the Coliseum Sports Network. On Saturday at 1 Eastern, it will be this Chicago Inferno team that's down by 2 taking on Nashville from Bridgestone Arena. Talton, open, long 2, can't tie it. Rebound by Wilmot. And that is probably a crucial miss there. Betancourt taking on Gloucester. Down low. Shot is good by Charlie Franklin. Newark ahead by 4 with a minute remaining. And we talked about the missed opportunities from Chicago. That miss, that open miss by Hector Talton might be one of them. He's going to try to redeem himself with a 3. He cannot. Can't come through in the clutch after hitting 2 important free throws just minutes ago. So another rebound by Newark. Chicago not fouling, at least not yet. Betancourt working along the perimeter. Only 7 on the shot clock. Betancourt looking to drive the lane. Going to try to force it. Can't draw the foul. Rebound Gloucester. There's hope yet for Chicago, but they're going to have to act fast. Talton pulls up for 3. Can't hit it. And there it is. That might just be game if Franklin can hit his free throws. Lincoln Flores, I almost called him Luis, is going to be called for the foul there. And Franklin not going to have free throws. My apologies there, but he will inbound here. And Betancourt with it. And he's going to draw the foul, and he will take the free throws. So Flores called for his 5th. And Betancourt going to the line. If he hits these free throws, that should be game blouses for the homestanding Newark Rens, who will pick up the first win in UBC history. Ely Betancourt, who earlier in this game, I believe it was he who hit the first points in history, was able to hit the first free throw. We've been through this whirlwind of a game, and I can't even remember who had the first points. Perhaps it was Wilmot. But all the same, Ely Betancourt, he's going to be looked to be the leader of this team. And he comes through with the free throws that might just cinch it for these Newark Rens. Rens have their name on so many levels, paying homage to the New York Rens, the black barnstorming team from the 30s and 40s. But also paying homage to the renaissance that has gone on in Newark. This here is a renaissance of basketball in northern New Jersey, professional basketball in northern New Jersey after the departure of the Nets. And it looks like it's going to be off on the good foot as an air ball by Lincoln Flores definitely puts the exclamation point on a win for the Newark Rens. Chicago might foul here. They're showing pressure right now. Gets it off to Sterling, and yep, they will intentionally foul, and that'll do it for Lincoln Flores. So here's Sterling going to make his way back at the line with 9.9 remaining in the fourth quarter. As I said before, Newark will be at Tampa Bay on Sunday. Chicago will move on to Nashville at Nashville. That Chicago-Nashville matchup, as Sterling hits the free throw, will be here on the Coliseum Sports Network Saturday, November 1st at 1 Eastern. So be sure to join me then from Bridgestone Arena in the Music City. At the same time, you're probably wondering, when does Chicago go home? Their first game at home will be against the Montreal Majesty. And that game will be on Tuesday, November 4th. Chicago will be playing most of their home games, I think with the exception of one, at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, which you may know is the home of the Chicago Sky and the DePaul Blue Demons. Three-pointer, making the box score look good, but still a 5-point game for Newark. Jay Berry going to inbound, and Marcus Norwood going to come in, and that is the ball game. The Newark Rens get the first ever win in UBC history, and they start off the 2014-15 campaign 1-0. I'm Raymond Sims. I'm glad you joined me for this history-making game. Here is your Jordan Player of the Game. Good night, everybody.
Don't nobody speak to me no more.